Oh, my good friend, you are here to visit Rabbi of Elohim, the greatest Kabbalah of En Zohar of your present generation and future generation. Because of this Torah title, so you want Rabbi of Elohim to give you the rightful interpretation to this Torah title. So what Torah interpretation do we have? Torah interpretation of Tehilim. Tehilim is Hebrew language. Translated of Tehilim to English, it becomes Psalm 104, verse 16. We have the second title Torah that is called Beresheet. Beresheet is Hebrew language. Translated of Beresheet to English, it becomes Genesis chapter 2, verse 2. We have the third title Torah that is called Yeshayah. Yeshayah is Hebrew language. Translated of Yeshayah to English, it becomes Isaiah chapter 60, verse 21. You want Rabbi of Elohim to give you the rightful interpretation to this Torah title. You see the tree of knowledge of good and evil resident in serpent, and the fruit that come from the side of the evil inclination, with the female aspect that residents with the tree of knowledge. So you want Rabbi to give you the rightful interpretation to this title. Good. And the tree of knowledge of good and evil mean that it is located in the middle between good, which is the right, and evil, which is the left. The Hodessing asked Rabbi, why is it called so? As the tree is not in the middle, but rather more toward the left than the right. Rabbi of Elohim answer and says, what is the tree of knowledge of good and evil? Why is it located in this? Because it draws from both the right and from the left side and know to them. Clicking to them as one who suck the sweet and the bitter as a result of sucking from and knowing both sides, that is, clicking to them and residents among them. It is called good and evil. Rabbi of Elohim, the greatest Kabbalah of En Zohar of your generation and future generation, look into this teaching of Hashem Elohim of En Zohar and continue by saying, the plant, namely the Sephirot of Makut. Makut is Hebrew language. Translated of Makut to English, it becomes the present world that we are living. Rest on the point of good and evil. Because these 2 points are the aspects of Yeshud, of the female principle, which lies underneath all the Sephiroth and other supernal plants, referring to Shezid, Yuvura, Tiferet, Nazar, Od, and Yeshud of Zehapi from the 10th Sephiroth are attached to it. These are called the Sheda of Lebanio, which is Tehilim. Tehilim is Hebrew language. Translated of Tehilim to English, it becomes Psalm 104, verse 16. He asked, what are these Lebanio? Sheda of Lebanio. Rabbi replied, these are the 6 supernal days, the 6 days of creation. As we have already stated, it is written, the Sheda of Lebanio, which he has planted. Descriptions describe them as plants, because they are indeed plants that survive after they were uprooted from their place and uprooted and planted in different one. Rabbi of Elohim, the greatest Kabbalah of En Zohar of your present generation and future generation, look into this teaching of Hashem Elohim of En Zohar and concluded by saying, from here, Samik appear in the section. He asked, what is this references to Samik? Rabbi replied, this is the Samik that appear in the phrase and close up. Spell with Samik the flesh in its place, which is Beresheet. Beresheet is Hebrew language translated of Beresheet to English. It becomes Genesis chapter 2 verse 21. This means that Eve became the aspect of Samik. Samik, bracket open, let a support, bracket close. From here on, at first, Eve was attached to his side and they were side by side, as you have seen right now. Eve, the female aspect, the woman, attached to this serpent and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. The truth fact about my teaching is that then the only one blessed be his that his name is called Hashem Elohim of Enzohan. Tear them apart, as it is written, and he took one of his side and planted them in a different place. Adam and Eve became facing one another. This is how they live in perfect existence. Why do we conclude that Adam and Eve were called plants? Because it is written, the branch of my planting, the work of my hand, that I may be glorified, which is Yeshayah. Yeshayah is Hebrew language. Translated of Yeshayah to English, it becomes Isaiah chapter 60 verse 21. It is indeed the work of my hand that alludes to Adam and Eve, who of the creations were the work of the Holy One, blessed be His alone. The verse described them as the branches of my planting. Hence, they had described as the planting. It is written, though in the days of your planting, you make it grow, which is Yeshayah. Yeshayah is Hebrew language. Translated of Yeshayah to English, it becomes Isaiah chapter 17 verse 11, which means that on the same day they were planted in the world and they sin. So the verse actually speaks of Adam and Eve and describe them as plants. May the peace of Shabbat Shalom be with you. We have learned that plants that were the male and the female principle were a tiny and the antennas of grasshopper. The light was feeble and they did not shine. As soon as they were planted in the different places and were improved, their light grew stronger and they were called the shadow of Lebanon. Similarly, Adam and Eve did not increase their light or emit a good odor before they were planted in the different places, namely in the male and female principle. But when they were uprooted from their place and planted again on high in the male and female principle, their existence was firmly established. May the peace of Shabbat Shalom be with each and every one of you as you have listened to the teaching of Hashem Elohim of Ein Zohan today. My name remains the same Rabbi of Elohim, the greatest Kabbalah of Ein Zohan of your generation. May the peace of Shabbat Shalom be with you and your family. Shabbat Shalom.